So I want to ask you, the people that know you though, what
Yeah.
I get into this with folk in my life because the way I look at family is radical.
Yeah.
I
Say more.
know it's
Say more.
radical. I know it's radical. I don't believe just because we're related that I owe you my time and my energy. I don't believe just because we share DNA that you deserve to be in my life if you are not uh being in my life without toxic behavior, right? So I am the cutoff queen, so I would just say that I do that with friends, but I also relatives can catch that as well. And I feel like we were put here as individuals, so we get to choose our family if we want to. Yes, our mothers and fathers are they are who they are. But we've had a conversation about, even that. We played a clip of a woman whose son is not speaking to her. Oh, newsflash, they're now back. So the son reached out after she went on social media. She was saying how she doesn't pressure him. It's been like, I think 10 years or whatever. He wasn't talking to her. And she was like, and I give him space because I know I did some things that harmed him, and I was an alcoholic. And so, he has the right to not talk to me if he doesn't want to. Where do you sit on that? And it's not about forgiveness for me or unforgiveness. It's I value my time, my energy, and my space. And if you are a drain on any of that, I got one life to live. I don't care if we're related. You won't get to be that.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to find any opposition from me on that one. I mean, what happens is that we have to value our emotional, spiritual, psychological, and physical well-being enough to create boundaries, even for persons, as you said, who are relatives. Now, let me tell you this. You got a great example of this in scripture with Jesus, when he's in there teaching and being radical, and the people come and say, hey, Jesus, your mother, your brothers and sisters, they're out there for you. He says, who is my mother? Who is my brother? He said, whoever does the will of God, that's my mother and my brother. So Jesus in that moment reconstitutes what family is. For him, if you do the will of God, you become family. So blood doesn't define family, even from Jesus in the scriptures, right? So for me, setting boundaries mean, as you said, even if you've done something, I can forgive you, but that doesn't mean I'm obligated to then have you in my circumference. I can forgive you and keep you at a distance. I can love you and keep you at a distance. As you said, especially if you are toxic, and I am not obligated to honor your toxicity by allowing you to be in my space, in my presence. It doesn't mean I love you any less. It doesn't mean I didn't forgive you if you've done something. It means that I have to guard my space so much so to sustain my emotional well-being. And sometimes that means putting people at a distance. Again, doesn't mean I don't love you. Doesn't mean I haven't forgiven you. It means that I value my space enough to create boundaries. And those boundaries are not just for people who fall outside the scope of shared DNA. I have family members like you. I've had to do that too. And people say, well, how can you know you're a preacher? Yeah, I'm a preacher. I'm a human being too. And I didn't say I don't love them. I don't care about them. Those people can call me on the drop of a dime and say, hey, Mike, I need so-and-so. I got you. But I also know that to have a sustained engagement with some people in my presence can become problematic for me. Can't do it.
Thank you. I was already going to do it, even if you told me I was wrong. We would just have to agree to disagree. 866-801-8255, because I do believe that life is precious, but that precious life starts with you valuing yourself and also setting the boundaries for how people treat you. You teach people how to treat. So if the consequence for you not honoring me, treating me like a human being, is you don't get to be around me, that's your loss to me, because I feel valuable. So, and I'm good. So I real.